Southern Alliance, is that what is building up? And that leads us to our big questions. Modi government versus Southern chief ministers. Is this the new political battleground? Is South still the big barrier for Mr. Modi's 400 seats pitch for the NDA in 2024? Are the Southern states really losing out when it comes to funding from the centre? These are some of the questions I will raise. I'm joined by Kalanidhi Veeraswamy, DMK MP in the Lok Sabha. Suman C. Raman joins me from Chennai. Sanju Verma is national spokesperson of the BJP. And Mohan Kumar Mangalam is the Congress spokesperson. Sanju Verma, let me start with you before you say that everyone is ranged against you. You have ample opportunity to refute what the Chief Minister of Karnataka has said, because he has said it's not just the Finance Commission with its tax formula which has discriminated against the high growth states of the southern India, but he's also claiming that grants that were promised to states like Karnataka amounting to about 11,000 crores have been denied to the state because the centre says you haven't got your documentation. And this is a familiar complaint now across states that the centre is discriminating against opposition ruled states. Your response? You're on mute. Please unmute yourself, madam.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So, Rajdeep, I have a couple of very quick points to make. First and foremost, I completely debunk and very strongly debunk this entire North-South divide, which is a figment of the imagination of a few people with vested interests. And I'll tell you why. This North-South divide chorus has grown harsher after the BJP had that massively phenomenal victory under the aegis of Prime Minister Modi, wherein the Congress was wiped out. Wiped out in the literal sense of the term in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. And, I think they are just resorting to a fig leaf in terms of argument when they say that the southern states from the southern part of the country are being given stepfatherly or stepmotherly treatment. Point number one, between 2004 and 2014, and listen very carefully, between 2004 and 2014, the tax devolution to Karnataka by the then union government was 82,000 crore rupees. Between 2014 and 2024, there has been a 244% jump, roughly speaking, and the devolution in terms of taxes to Karnataka from the central government, that is the Modi government in this case, has been 2,83,000 crore rupees. Point number one. Point number two, in terms of grants and aid, there has been a 250% jump. Between 2004 and 2014, under the then Congress regime, the grants and aid to Karnataka stood at 61,000 crore. And between 2014 and 2024, the grants and aid to Karnataka under the aegis of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government has been 2,09,000 crore. A 2.5 times jump, 250% jump. So, पहली बात तो ये, the data says that be it tax devolution, be it grants or be it aid, there has been more than a 200% jump in terms of allocation and disbursal to Karnataka.
Ma'am, I have to give you a fact check. Ma'am, you must allow me to give you a fact check. The fact is, in percentage terms, under the 15 Lok Sabha, Karnataka's share of tax revenue has gone down. Now, that is a fact. The fact also is that 11,000 crores that were promised in grants have still not been given. These are hard facts. You have to accept facts as well. Please go ahead now.
Can I please finish?
Yes.
I am quoting my hard facts from the 15th Finance Commission's report. I don't know from where you are quoting your hard facts.
I am giving you the hard facts based on the 15th Finance Commission. Karnataka used to...
Finish?
No, ma'am. Karnataka in percentage terms has gone down from 4.3% to 3.7%. So in percentage terms...
Can I please finish?
Yes,
your
go ahead.
problem, Rajdeep...
No, please now. Let's not make it personal. We have limited time. 3.64% is the tax share of a state. Yes.
What is your problem in life? Can't you, for a change, behave like a journalist rather than being a
kindly do not be rude. Do not be rude and offensive. I will ask you questions. आपको सवाल अच्छे नहीं लगते. I will keep fact checking you.
keep quiet now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll give you a minute uninterrupted.
Yeah. आपकी प्रॉब्लम ये है, आपकी क्या मजबूरी है वो तो मैं समझ सकती हूँ, बट मजबूरी के बावजूद कई बार जानकर अनजान बनना ये आपकी खासियत है. Now let me rebut you with facts.
Okay.
I want to say something to you. Please keep quiet now for a change. You know, I understand numbers much better than you do, Rajdeep.
Yes, you understand everything better than all of us. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Because I saw how today you're trending on Twitter because you continue to say that.
Ma'am, if you are going to make this personal, I'm not going to take it anymore. You respond to my question.
Can I finish?
Please.
Why don't you stop heckling me? What's your problem in life?
Ma'am, you have to answer my question.
Show some maturity. You are not a 4-year-old. Can you show some maturity?
Okay, that's it. I'm now stopping Sanju Verma because you are personalizing it. I'm giving you 1 minute uninterrupted without bringing me into it. You answer my question. Is Karnataka justified in saying that the percentage of tax revenue went down in the 15th Finance Commission? They've been denied 11,000 crores of grants.
I will now finish my point in 30 seconds.
Yes.
Thank you. So point number 1, the table that you have shown here, let me tell you, you are saying in the 10th Finance Commission, Karnataka's share out of every, 100 paise was 5.34 paise. Now, under the 15th Finance Commission, that has come down from 5.34 to 3.65 paise. But what you forget to mention is this simple fact. When the Finance Commission, Rajdeep, makes an allocation, weightage is given to the population of a state, weightage is given to the area of a state, weightage is given to how fiscally prudent a state has been, weightage is given to how tax efficient a state is, but 45% weightage is given to something called equity, which means how good a state has been in terms of reducing the gap between the haves and the have-nots. So there are many things that go when the Finance Commission decides कि भाई 100 पैसे में से हमको 10 पैसे इसको देने हैं, 5 पैसे इसको देने हैं, 3 पैसे इसको देने हैं. I'll tell you just one last thing. You know, Siddharamaiah, DK Suresh, DK Shiv Kumar, they say, oh, we've contributed 2 lakh crore, 3 lakh crore, 4 lakh crore, पर हमको देखो, the amount of money that is returned to us by way of grants and taxes is only minuscule. Rajdeep, you understand Mumbai, Maharashtra as well as I do. Mumbai accounts for 33% of the Indian government's direct tax revenues. Mumbai, I'm not even talking of Maharashtra. Mumbai accounts for 37% of India's indirect tax revenues. Mumbai accounts for 73% of India's seaborne trade, and Mumbai accounts for 67% of the volume and value traded on India's stock markets. Are you then telling by virtue of that logic, 33% of the Modi government's grants should go to Mumbai alone?
Okay. You made a good point there. The fact is, I asked you, ma'am, just a minute now. You made a good point. Why should a state get back exact proportion of the tax they contribute? That would lead to an iniquitous India, is a point which the Finance Commission has also made. Mohan Kumar Mangalam, the truth of the matter is that the Finance Commission is a constitution body. If Karnataka believes that the Finance Commission is acting against Karnataka's interest, please go to the Supreme Court. Please go to the Finance Commission. There's a new Finance Commission, 16th Finance Commission. Raise all the concerns. Why come on the streets? This seems to be in a way timed also for the Lok Sabha elections to somehow raise the issue that southern India is being discriminated against.
Rajdeep, this isn't an issue that has just been raised today. It's been boiling for quite a while now. So let me split this up into two parts. One is the systemic issue, which you talked about, which is, when the UPA was leaving from the 13th to the 14th Finance Commission, the devolution to states was increased from 32 to 42%. The 15th Finance Commission, what it did was it changed the base year of the population from 1971 to 2011. And all the southern states that had done a fantastic job in family planning, much now to some of them being below replacement rate, in fact, suffered a great deal in terms of devolution of taxes. Now, how the 15th Finance Commission chose to compensate them was to give only a 12.5% weight on demographic performance. That is nowhere near what it should be. But outside of that, I think there's also a government sleight of hand that needs to be brought to light here. So what the Finance Commission governs is the devolution of net tax revenue as well as grant in aid. The net tax revenue is the gross tax revenue and saving for some administration costs, some collection costs, and charges, surcharges and cesses. This government has increased the surcharges and cesses as a percentage of total tax revenue from 5.8% in 2015-16 to 10.9%, more than or almost doubling it. So what you have in effect is a lower devolution that's going to the states, because what the central government has very cleverly done is increase the surcharge and cess. So it's only net of that the finance commissions 41, 40, earlier 42 now because of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh being separate, 41% devolution. So it's actually now, even with the grant in aid, boiling down to less than 35%, which is what the devolution to states are. Why you're seeing the southern states come out more vociferously is that they are not going to be governed by the PMO like the northern states are that are governed by the BJP. We know Mr. Modi likes to govern everybody through one office, which is the PMO. Even his own ministers don't really take decisions outside of that. So the northern state chief ministers, even though they are also actually getting lesser than what they should be as per the 15th Finance Commission, are not making that much of a noise. And of course the population factor makes the amount that the southern states are getting that much lower, and therefore it'd be that much harder. There is another issue here that needs to be considered, which is that the central government has also been putting in curbs on the states for how much they're allowed to borrow. By the FRBM Act, states are allowed to borrow up to 3% of their gross state domestic product, and 0.5% more was given for some reforms in the electricity sector. Excuse me. So for example, in Kerala, who is going to be protesting tomorrow, one of the issues they're bringing up is that the central government has now added off-budget borrowings to that overall debt number. So effectively what they're able to borrow now is only 2% instead of the 3 or 3.5% that they were going to be able to borrow. And this is funny because the central government routinely does off-book borrowing. In fact, if I remember correctly, Mrs. Sitaraman in her 2019-20 budget actually had a whole separate page on all the off-book borrowings that the government was doing. So there is an asymmetry of power here that is unnatural.
Yeah, but the asymmetry of power, as you have, Mr. Kumar Mangalam, you're
violate the FRBM norms with
impunity. But as you're saying,
the state government has to not only stay within 3.5%, which the central government is allowing it to do, but go even below that because they've added more
Mr. Kumar Mangalam, I must stop you.
To what they consider debt.
Mr. Kumar Mangalam, I must stop you because as you are yourself admitting, this is not just true of the southern states. There are other state governments also which are raising the issue of not having got necessarily what they believed is their due. However, the Finance Commission is, as I repeat, a constitutional body. I repeat the question, why do you not go to the Finance Commission and raise this protest? Why is it the Modi government in a way being singled out? And that's the question, Kalanidhi Veeraswamy, to you as a DMK MP. The DMK also seems to have now made this an issue of South versus North, when the real issue is states themselves will have to go to the Finance Commission and raise their concerns. That's what the Finance Minister is saying. She's saying, don't blame me, your budgets can't sustain spending, you all have your freebies. Why are you blaming the center? All states are facing similar situations. It's not as if the government is discriminating only against the southern states.
Good evening to everybody. Rajdeep, you have to understand that this issue about devolution of funds is just another straw on the opposition parties. If you see the problems which have been cropping up for the last decade after the BJP government came to power, consistently they have had a stepmotherly treatment towards all the opposition ruled states. Like most of the southern states are opposition ruled. So when we are talking about devolution of funds, we are aware that the Finance Commission had made a recommendation from the 13th to the 14th Finance Commission. They had said that 32% devolution should be increased to 42%. The then chief of the Finance Commission, Mr. Y.V. Reddy, had made a statement recently, I'm sure that you must be aware of that, saying that when Prime Minister Modi had assumed his office, he opposed this decision to increase this devolution to 42%. But Mr. Y.B. Reddy stood his ground and he insisted that this amount has to be increased to 42%. And what this government has done, like our friend Mr. Mohan Kumar Mangalam has explained, they have surreptitiously gone around the system to ensure that the fund devolution is not enhanced to 42% by increasing the cesses. By increasing the cesses, technically what they have done is, instead of getting the 42% devolution, most of the states, I'm not talking about the south states, I'm talking about all the states, are getting a much lesser share because most of the taxes are going in the form of cess where they are not in the divisible pool. All of that is used by the central government. See, this is not the only issue. You also have to see that whenever opposition rule states, for example, recently we had historically unheard of calamity where there was huge rains, and we asked for funding requirement from the union government, and we have clear laws about the funding pattern, the SDRF and the NDRF. But you have to remember that when Gujarat faced a similar crisis, immediately there was a sanction of about 1,000 crores. But here, we have been repeatedly asking where our Chief Minister has met the Prime Minister in person and he has made a request. And we have been raising this in Parliament repeatedly, and we are not being provided with the same kind of treatment which is being shown to the other states. And on top of that, they come out with certain policies. I'm sure that you will also be aware that the government came out with a new proposal saying that states will not be allowed to start medical colleges beyond 10 lakh, I mean like 100 seats for 10 lakh students. If you go by that number, none of the south states can have medical colleges because all of the south states have medical colleges which are above that number. So when we come up with something like this, see, we understand that Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, they have a long way to go for enhancing their infrastructure in terms of healthcare, education and everything. What I'm saying is you try to focus on those areas, build up the your infrastructure in UP. Why are you trying to restrict the south states, saying that no new medical colleges should be started?
Okay.
Madam, I did not interrupt you at any point in time. Kindly let me
I'm
finish.
talking to the
No, let him finish. Let him finish, ma'am. He's a member of parliament who deserves a chance. We often don't give enough chance to the southern states in any way. Finish your point very quickly, sir.
Yeah. Even in the parliament, we are not given an opportunity. So at least I hope that this TV interview, we will be able to raise our voice and express our views over here. So what we are saying is this stepmotherly treatment, which is shown to opposition parties. See, we are not talking about it as a south versus north divide. Because if you look at the south versus north,
I must interrupt you. It's not just opposition seats. Sir, the complaint. Sir, there are states also which are ruled by the BJP, which have these concerns. They may not be voicing it, but they also have the concern. This is a larger question of cooperative federalism and how much money will devolve to the states. Y'all are making it about south versus north in a way.
Sir, I will explain to you. See, Mr. Mohan Kumar Mangalam and the madam also explained very clearly how the Finance Commission has evolved between the 13th and the 15th Finance Commission, the outcomes. So earlier it used to be based only on demography, where population was the single most important criteria. But now they have land areas, they are talking about forest cover in that particular area, and they are talking about several criteria for devolution of funds to the states. So when we are talking about these points which are being made, the 16th Finance Commission, definitely we are going to be making a representation. And after bringing the GST rule, the whole problem is the GST funds are collected by the center, and the release of the GST funds from the center to the states. We are having so much of problems where we have to keep repeatedly raising these issues, and probably a simpler solution would be that the states can collect the total GST and we can give the amount which is due to the central government. That way we would not be having any of these problems. But here we are not having such kind of cooperative federalism happening over here.
Okay.
See, if you are talking about BJP ruled states, we will not face any problems over there.
Mr. Veeraswamy, I have given you sufficient time to make your point. Okay. You made your point clearly. Mr. Suman Raman,
thank you.
You know, the politics of it. Let me for a moment turn to the politics of it before Sanju Verma comes in again. The fact is that these problems have been boiling over for the last 3 years. Why is it only now that they are hitting the street? The sense is the southern chief ministers want to use this in a way to encircle the Modi government ahead of the 2024 elections. You can look at DK Suresh's statements, or indeed the manner in which the optics now of the southern chief ministers coming to Delhi suggest that they have now used this opportunity to encircle the government? Why don't they go before the 16th Finance Commission, raise their concerns and resolve the issues?
Rajdeep, I don't think this is purely about devolution of funds. This is a larger issue. As Dr. Kalanidhi said, the floods which ravaged Tirunelveli and Thoothukudi, the center did not give any funds from its share. That is very unfortunate. 6 months earlier for Himachal Pradesh from the NDRF they gave. And the only funds which Tamil Nadu received was an advance installment payment of funds which were due to it as part of the devolution from NDRF to SDRF. That is all that was given. Second point, this medical college thing. Tamil Nadu has the highest number of medical colleges in the country. And now you say you cannot. So essentially, let's cut all the technicalities around. You cannot punish a state for controlling its population, for doing well on socio-economic indices, and say that because you're doing well and because you've controlled your population, your budgets or your funding will be cut. 15.8% is what the southern states receive as a devolution from the central pool. And Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, 2 states get 28%, just 2 states of this country. So how is it fair? I think that you have to understand.
It may be unfair, but you can't lay that. You can't lay that at Prime Minister Modi's door. The point is, you can't lay that problem at Prime Minister Modi's door. That will have to be debated in a constitutional body called the Finance Commission.
Okay, fine. Who do we lay the issue of funds not being given for flood relief? Who do we lay the issue of being stopped from opening new medical colleges? Do we lay it at each one would be laid at the individual minister's door?
Okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point which Sanju Verma you should respond to. Sanju Verma, whether it is Tamil Nadu today which is saying that we've not got our flood relief, or Karnataka which is saying we haven't got our relief for drought, or indeed Bengal which is saying we haven't got our Manrega funds. Forget Finance Commission for a moment. The sense that opposition-ruled states are feeling discriminated against is palpable and real. And ironically, and I just want to play this, when Mr. Modi was Chief Minister, when Mr. Modi was Chief Minister of Gujarat, he raised the issue that Gujarat was being discriminated against. Please look at this advertisement. I want you to listen to this advertisement when Mr. Modi was Chief Minister. Listen to it. 1 minute. Listen to it. Please listen to it.
Hating journalists, we all know what.
તમે ટેક્સ ભરો છો અને એ ટેક્સ ક્યાં જાય છે?
કેન્દ્ર સરકાર પાસે.
અને ત્યાંથી ક્યાં જાય છે?
કેન્દ્ર સરકાર પાસેથી પાછો આવે આપણા રાજ્યમાં વિકાસ માટે.
ગુજરાતને થપ્પડ કેન્દ્ર સરકારની, કારણ કે ગુજરાતી નાગરિકો માથાદીઠ 14,000 જેટલો ટેક્સ તો ભરે છે, પણ બદલામાં એને મળે છે ખાલી 2300 રૂપિયા જેટલી નામ માત્રની ગ્રાન્ટ. વાજપેયીજીના સમયે જે 3.58% ગ્રાન્ટ મળતી હતી તે ઘટાડીને અત્યારની કેન્દ્ર સરકારે કરી 3.08%, મળવા પાત્ર કરતા પણ ઓછી અને બીજા રાજ્યો કરતા પણ ઓછી. આને કહેવાય અન્યાય. ગુજરાતને કેન્દ્ર સરકારનો હળહળતો અન્યાય. તમે ટેક્સ ભરો છો?
Respond to that, Sanju Verma. When Mr. Modi was Chief Minister, he said this was discrimination against Gujarat.
Can I please now? I heard you. Now, Rajdeep, I want to be taken alone on the screen like you did with the others. You already have a lopsided panel with 3:1, correct? When the BJP speaks, you take me in a window with everybody else. But when the other speak, you take them, give them alone screen time. Now that I am alone on the screen with you, I will present some hard facts. Please listen very carefully. What are the few sources of funds from the union government for the states? A, we have decided the allocation as per the relevant finance commission. B, it is, grants and aids. C, apart from tax devolution, grants and aids, there is the SDRF funds. For any calamity, funds are given from the SDRF by the center to the states. Then there is the NDRF. From the NDRF also, the Prime Minister's office disburses funds. And the most important one, which not any of your panelists are speaking about, but your audience needs to know, there is something called WMA. You are a seasoned journalist. Can you tell me the full form of WMA without looking into Google? Please tell me, what does WMA stand for, Rajdeep? I ask you in all humility. Since you've come for this show, you must know what is the full form of WMA. Bataiye. I'm asking you humbly. I'm not taking a jibe at you. WMA का full form क्या है?
आप बताइए ना. You want to.
आपको नहीं मालूम? At least tell me, Sanju Verma, I don't know what is WMA.
I don't know. You
You're
tell
not
me.
going to be a lesser person.
You tell me.
Do you know the meaning? Say no.
I don't
You
know.
don't know.
I don't know. You tell me, na?
Yes. Let me educate your audience and let me educate you. WMA means Ways and Means Advances. Now, the entire corpus under Ways and Means Advances in the last few years under the Modi government has grown to anywhere between 6 to 8 lakh crore. It used to be barely 1 to 2 lakh crore. And out of this Ways and Means Advances, which means loans that are given to states at concessional rates, it could be 2%, 3% or 4%, even when the prevailing interest rates could be 8, 9, 10 or 11%. Do you know who has drawn the maximum amount of money from the WMA facility, which is available from the RBI / the union government to states? It is Karnataka. It is Tamil Nadu. In fact, the RBI rapped NK Stalin on his knuckles because he treated WMA loans as grants and he tried to derail the Tamil Nadu balance sheet to prop it up. And now my second point, very quickly, I won't be verbose. Please listen to me, Rajdeep. You know, you can look at me rather than looking at your laptop screen. It makes me feel better when you and me are having eye contact. Following are the top future Karnataka mega projects, which saw cost overrun, time overrun. The center's contribution should have been only 50%, but the center is now virtually funding a large part of these projects in Karnataka. Chennai, Mysore high-speed rail. Some of these are work in progress, some are yet to start, but look at these projects. Chennai, Mysore high-speed rail, Shivamoga Airport, Bangalore-Chennai Industrial Corridor, Raichur Airport, Bangalore Satellite Town Ring Road Project, Vijayapura Bijapur Airport Project, Hassan Project, Bangalore-Chennai Expressway, and just 20 seconds more for the panelists from Tamil Nadu. Please listen to this, the panelists from DMK. I have something for you also. There are a few projects from Tamil Nadu which should have been funded by the state government and only a minimal funding should have come from the center, but now the Modi government is virtually funding, 75 to 80% of these projects. Bangalore-Chennai Expressway, Chennai Peripheral Ring Road, Nagapattinam Tuticorin Highway, Chennai Metro Phase 2, Surat-Chennai Expressway, Hosur Airport, Bangalore-Hosur Interstate Metro, Chittoor-Thachur Expressway. So, projects which should have been funded by NK Stalin or Siddaramaiah are being funded by Modi government. We are giving you out of the Finance Commission 41% of the tax devolution, and you're still complaining?
Ma'am, the complaints are specific to, as I said, drought relief that Karnataka wanted last year. That flood, no, just a minute, ma'am. Ma'am, you've had your say. Let Sumant Raman respond. Sumant, you wanted to respond. 1 minute, ma'am. The hard fact, you've given one part of the story. As always, there are two parts to it. Go ahead. Please put the volume down.
Rajdeep, let me point out, if Sanju Verma related, I don't know about the projects purely in Karnataka, but as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, and Dr. Kalanidhi and Mohan can also ratify this, most of these projects that she spoke about are on paper. I mean, maybe they are going to do it. They have the intention in their goodness of their heart that they're going to do it, but it's not done. And the Metro Rail Phase 2 in Chennai has been delayed. It's way behind schedule. What on earth is she talking about? She's just got some material from which she's reading out. Please ask the people on the ground where these projects are happening. I don't know about the Karnataka projects. Some of them may have happened. I don't know because there was a BJP government in Karnataka not too long ago. But as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, please verify with the Member of Parliament over here and ask him how many of these projects are near completion.
No. I think the question is, look, there are projects which have been assigned to different states. There are other states. I repeat, it is not as if this is a Tamil Nadu or Karnataka problem at the moment. The fund complaint is across states. Some are voicing it, others are not. But Mohan Kumar Mangalam, it appears, I repeat, the timing seems to be to gherao the Modi government on the issue, make it south versus north somewhere, or that the south states which are feeling politically in a way isolated are using this to sort of create their own Delhi versus south battle.
Rajdeep, it's not the case at all. I mean, yes, the timing is close to the polls, but listen, Kerala, for example, as you can see this in the news every month, that Kerala has been asking for the funds owed to it from the centre. Karnataka just got its budgets, and there's almost no budgets to carry out many of the development activities that the state had planned. And It's kind of funny that Sanju actually said that RBI/state government, because last I checked, RBI is, at least in financial matters, has some autonomy. Also, she used ways and means advances, which really is something that's used when you have cash flow mismatches. And if these states are actually having great cash flow mismatches, maybe it's because the central government isn't giving them what it has to in time. So that apart, responding to you, Rajdeep, this is not merely a political issue. As I mentioned in the beginning, there are systemic problems here that need to be addressed. And when the governments in the south go for, like, look at Karnataka, 223 out of 236 taluks have drought, and you don't give a single cent. That seems almost stepmotherly treatment like.
Okay.
So when Mr. Modi finds that there are opposition governments in states, then he chooses to have a different benchmark than he does for states where he is in power or the BJP is in power. This is completely unfair.
Okay.
And this is something, like I say again, that has been talked about for quite a while.
I've run out of time.
Things are coming to a head now.
Mr. Kumar Mangalam, I've run out of time. Sanju Verma, you will accuse me now of being biased, but I will give...
a last small point.
You have 15 seconds. You have 15 seconds to make it. The specific issue, Mr. Veeraswamy raised flood relief and drought relief in Karnataka. You cannot tell me about long-term gestation projects. You must tell me why immediate funding is not given to a Himachal or a Tamil Nadu or Karnataka. 10 seconds.
15 seconds से भी 10 सेकंड हो गए।
अच्छा,
हे भगवान। ठीक है, आपकी मेहरबानी 15 सेकंड के लिए। You know, do you remember the slogan of Rahul Gandhi in the last couple of months? जिसकी जितनी संख्या भारी, उसकी उतनी हिस्सेदारी. How much is the Muslim population of India? About 18 to 20 crores, give or take a little bit. Which means 14 to 15% of India's population. Can I finish? 14 to 15% of India's population. Whereas 51% of PM Awas Yojana goes to Muslims. 36% of Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana goes to Muslims. 37% of Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana goes to Muslims. 33% of Ayushman Bharat goes to Muslims. 33% of PM Kisan goes to Muslims. So should we only give Muslims 14 or 15% of the welfare schemes? Modi government is giving 32 to 37% of welfare schemes to Muslims, despite Muslim population.
Okay, you made your point. Sanju Verma,
total population.
Jitni abadi utna hak is the argument you are making. The southern states,
way of looking at it.
Madam,
that is my limited point.
Okay, you made your limited point. I want to leave it there because I think the southern states are raising issues which are far more complex than just that. Let's not simplify it. This is a serious crisis in a way that the country will face going ahead. I appreciate my DMK guests joining me, Suman, Raman, Mohan Kumar Mangalam and Sanju Verma. Thank you very much for joining me on the show tonight.